pressure test flex connectors by capping them immediately after the connector, typically before the appliance shutoff valve, to isolate the downstream appliance and prevent false failures during a gas leak test. When pressure testing gas lines, treat each flex connector as a potential leak path and isolate it precisely. First, shut off the appliance and close the appliance valve, then cap immediately after the flex connector on the supply side so the test volume excludes appliance internals and flexible fittings that are not part of the fixed piping you are certifying. Use a rated test cap or plug sized for the pipe material, brass or steel test caps for black iron, approved compression plugs for copper, and manufacturer-approved caps for corrugated stainless steel tubing. Torque to manufacturer specifications and follow thread sealing practices like joint compound compatible with combustible gas or PTFE tape intended for gas service. Pressurize slowly to the required test pressure, typically 5 pounds per square inch gauge for natural gas distribution checks or per local code, and monitor with a calibrated test gauge placed at the capped section, not on the appliance side. After pressurizing, isolate the regulator and meter if testing downstream pressure, and allow a stabilization period of at least 10 minutes before recording readings. For long runs, extend stabilization to 30 minutes to detect slow leaks. When using soap solution or an electronic gas leak detector, check the cap faces and any nearby joints under the same test pressure. Bubbles around the cap shoulder indicate seal failure and require recapping or replacement. For systems with multiple flex connectors, cap each one individually and label the capped points so the technician knows which segments were tested. Keep a written test diagram and pressure log with start pressure, end pressure, and timestamps for code inspectors. Finally, when the test passes, vent the test volume safely. Remove caps in a controlled sequence from downstream to upstream while the appliance remains shut off, and purge the line per code before returning appliances to service. One of the most common mistakes is capping on the wrong side of the flex connector, which produces false positives for leak tests and leads to unnecessary repairs. Fix this by always capping on the supply side, just before the appliance shutoff valve, and verify with a continuity checklist. One of the other frequent issues is using non-rated or improvised caps that fail under test pressure, so use certified gas service test caps or plugs, and follow torque and sealing recommendations from the cap and pipe manufacturers. One of the third common problems is failing to isolate downstream appliances and meter regulator systems, causing pressure drops that mimic leaks. Prevent this by isolating meters and regulators per local code, using temporary isolation fittings when required, and documenting each isolation step on your pressure test log. BigHomeProjects.com lists vetted local contractors and provides a searchable directory so homeowners can find technicians experienced with proper gas pressure testing and capping practices. The site also helps contractors get work by showcasing credentials, reviews, and service areas so qualified gas fitters can connect with homeowners who need safe, code-compliant pressure testing and repairs.